Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
You've got the shovel claw. Now you can dig through dirt and stone. Press the jump and action buttons simultaneously.
That is kind of funny, though, because one of the things Knuckles was described as being able to do in Sonic 3 Manual was he could dig with his knuckles. Like, he could climb on walls and stuff, but it did say he could dig and find secret routes. But that never really got used. All he could do was climb on the walls. In fact, in Sonic 3 Knuckles, he couldn't even punch these. He would walk into certain breakable walls and crush them down just automatically. Because, like, on the Genesis, all 3 buttons were just the jump button. Like, Sonic... The old Sonic games are kind of one-button games when you think about it, which is really funny. So, like, there was never a button that he could press that would have a punching animation associated with it. The later 2D games definitely added that as something you could do, like Sonic Advance. If you press the B button in Sonic Advance, he would punch a motherfucker. Because that's just something that makes sense. Like, it's weird that he didn't have that previously, when you think about it. So this area is, again, another, like, a 3Dization, and again, you can recognize this as a level Sonic went through. Something I like about the treasure hunting in this game that I don't like so much about how they changed aspects of it in Sonic Adventure 2.
This way.
I don't need your help to call! Shut up, Mom! Give me that. Is in this game, you have the radar that bleeps and bloops whenever you're next to an emerald piece, but it detects all 3 emeralds, like, equally. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully there'll be an example on this level where both of those little icons will start blipping and blooping. No, sadly, no. There was an example in the level previous to this one, where I was next to 2 emeralds in the environment, and they both started bleeping and blooping, and being like, yo, there's an emerald right here. In Adventure 2, it's 1 at a time. So, like, it'll start, like, the first emerald will be active to be detected, and then you need to find that one, and then the second emerald will be the one that's being detected. Whereas I prefer in this how all 3 are active at the same time, so you can find them in any order. In Adventure 2, they changed that, and I feel like that's a little bit of a, I prefer the old way.
Good enough.
I do like how in this, his only goal is to find the pieces of the Master Emerald. Which, again, from that opening cutscene of his storyline, it's very clear that chaos came from inside the Master Emerald. The Master Emerald was like, just whatever. Knuckles was chillin'. I still like to think that Carnival Night Zone is somewhere in this environment. I would love to see a 3Dization of Carnival Night Zone. I still love the idea of Knuckles going to Carnival Night Zone and chilling and getting grape ice cream. I don't know. That amuses the shit out of me. Although, again, I kind of have trouble seeing him doing that as he's characterized in the 3D games, because in the 3D games, he's characterized as being more of a serious, not quite stoic, but like a serious, a character who takes himself seriously, you know? I've always likened him to Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. So I can see the Knuckles from Sonic 3 and Knuckles going to Carnival Night Zone. I don't know if I can see this Knuckles going to Carnival Night Zone. It's a little bit of a shame. Even though Carnival Night Zone is definitely still here on Angel Island. Let's hurry up and find the pieces of the Master Emerald and get it back in the air before the fucking tourists can show up. Fuck those guys. At least last time we were in the middle of the goddamn ocean. And the only people that could show up were Sonic and Tails because they had a fucking plane. Now we're connected by a landmass, so we gotta get out of here before this motherfucker. It soils a lot like the soil from the Mystic Ruins. Get the fuck off of my island! Get rid of it! You can't go to Carnival Night Zone! Get out of my face! It's mine! So I feel like that level was like the outside of the volcano, like the active, like the lava reef zone was inside the volcano. I feel like that level was, you know, the surrounding mountainscape. Like on the title screen of Sonic and Knuckles, you saw the Death Egg land in the volcano. I feel like that environment was the surrounding of the volcano. So we've seen this version of the cutscene from Sonic's perspective previously.
Eggman was right. What's that in his hand? It looks like a piece of the Master Emerald. He has no right to have that.
Why don't you just talk, Knuckles? Even if it's a piece of the Master Emerald, why don't you ask him to give it to you? Why would you immediately start attacking him?
All right,
Fucking idiot.
put him up. Hand over the emerald now.
That's not gonna happen, buddy!
Just talk. Why don't you just talk? This is such a false conflict. You're both assholes. It's fine. That's the relationship. They have... I mean, again,
Had enough!
the only reason in the end there Sonic and Knuckles were cool was because Eggman blatantly betrayed him. So Knuckles was like, okay, I guess he was lying, come and help me out. And Sonic and Tails wanted to go fight Eggman anyway. So it's not like they became friends. They just had the common enemy, right? And he was like, okay, I realized that I was wrong about you guys, come help me out. It's not like they became best buds. Although Sonic did show up to help Knuckles when he was dealing with Mecha Sonic and all that. But still, like, it's still funny to look back on their relationship and remember, they didn't used to be friends. Like, at this point in their relationship, this is still entirely believable that they don't exactly like each other. They're not buddies. So, Sonic being like, fuck you, you can't have this emerald. Get on my face. And Knuckles being like, oh, I'm gonna open this avenue of discussion by punching you in the face. It's still a little bit believable. It's hard to remember that after all the time where Knuckles has been a member of Team Sonic, right? But anyway.
That's all there is to it.
You guys are too easy.
That's a Chaos Emerald.
First come, first serve, they say. And you serve me too well for your own good.
Oh, sick burn.
You can't get away with this! Knuckles, did you let him trick you again?
Like you weren't.
Smooth move, Knucklehead.
Like you weren't.
I've got 4 emeralds now. Here, Chaos. Come here, my...
So remember, Sonic never saw him give Chaos the second emerald, but now we understand. Like, Chaos popped up, and we're like, oh shit, he's got 2 emeralds. We didn't see that. Now look what he is.
I'll make him eat dirt.
But now in Knuckles' campaign, we actually saw him get fed the second emerald. Can you remember any other times in Sonic's campaign where Chaos was already fed an emerald and off screen that we didn't see? Anyway. I also noticed that, did you notice that the version of those cutscenes that Knuckles just saw, aside from not having the audio be desynced because the fucking editing software fucked up the video, hopefully that won't have happened for this one, and I won't be talking shit out of my own ass. Hopefully I will avoid that happening again. That's just something that happens when I put a video in the editing software, where it works fine when I just play the video by itself, but then I drop it in the software and something glitches out or gets corrupted and suddenly the audio gets desynced and I don't catch it. And I'm like, fuck me, that's way too much work to fix. I'm super lazy, I'm not fixing that shit. Just put it out there, it's fine. It's fine. There we go. So did you notice that the version of those cutscenes that Knuckles got is different from the versions that Sonic got? For one thing, even the dialogue that was the same, there were differences. Like, it was the same thing being said, but the lines were different. Where in Sonic's campaign, he said, "Me? What about you?" And then in Knuckles' campaign, he said, "Like you weren't." And even more than that, there were certain line reads that were just completely different. Where in Sonic's version, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna fight Chaos," and this, instead, Knuckles is the one who's like, "I'll make him eat dirt." And now Knuckles is the one fighting Chaos 4 instead of Sonic. This whole story has a nifty little bit of Rochambeau to it. You know the movie Rochambeau? Where we see the same events from different characters' perspectives, and depending on the perspective we see it from, the events are slightly altered in bias of the person who we're following, of the character we're following. They perceived those events differently.
Creation, the egg carrier.
So we see their version of the events
Power is yet to be
because they're the character we're following at the time.
We shall meet again.
Hurry, Sonic! What are we waiting for? My workshop's closed, so let's get the tornado and go after him.
Good idea!
Uh-oh.
Hey, Sonic,
Let's get rid of that.
you go on ahead without me. I have some things I need to take care of.
Hey, Sonic.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here.
It's almost like, and it's only gonna get weirder when we get to Tails, and what Tails' version of this confrontation was like. So it's like, what is the truth? Is what we're seeing what really happened, or is it just the version that the character we're playing as remembered it being like? Knuckles remembers fighting Chaos 4, but Sonic remembers fighting Chaos 4 also. So which one is the truth? Who really fought Chaos 4? Who really won the fight between Sonic and E102 Gamma? Right? Which version of the lines
To your unfinished
are the
things?
actual truth? Obviously, that's me reading way too much into it. The real answer is just
We'd better
game
have the
design.
carrier.
But fuck you, you know how I be. I think by now we've all accepted that this is just how my brain works. like, oh my gosh. You think I'm doing it on purpose. That's the thing. You might listen to me talking about this stuff and think that I'm like sitting down and thinking about it, right? I'm sitting down and like putting effort into coming up with these thoughts. I'm really not. Oh god, this is so annoying. Like I'm sitting down and trying to like put it together in my head. No, these thoughts just naturally occur to me. That's just the thought that pops into my head when I experience the thing that's right in front of me. There's no effort being put into this thought structure. The effort is in, like, how do I communicate those thoughts in a way that's articulate and that can be understood, because I want you to know what I'm talking about. Once again, this is blatantly the same pyramid. There's that mountain again, by the way, exact same skybox. But there's a whole, we already saw Sonic, there's a whole everything that's underground. You might think, like, I'm making a concerted effort, but I'm really not. The effort comes in, like, trying to find the right words to make you understand what I'm trying to communicate. Trying to articulate my thought process. And express it in a way that you know what I'm fucking talking about. That's the part that's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard for me to, like, what am I trying to say? Like, what are the words that best communicate what I'm thinking here? But the thoughts and the feelings, those are just there. Like, I see something and it snap occurs. Those are the connections my brain makes. Those are the synapses that get fired off the instant I see the thing. There's no, like, energy being put into the effort of making these connections and connecting the dots here. That's just what happens. So, it's not like I'm overthinking it. That's just what I think of when I experience the story that's right in front of me. And being self-aware about yourself, being able to, like, take a step back and analyze your own thought process and being able to look at the way you think about things and the conclusions you draw, that's where it gets fun. That's where it's fun. That's where it's fun to sit back and be like, wow, I'm crazy. That's awesome. It's really fun just being fucking nuts.
2 stone statues.
Like, oh my god. That's stupid. No one else is ever gonna think of that weird shit. Why are you the one coming up with that weird shit? Just completely naturally, too. Oh, man. It's really fun. It's really fun living in this Catch-22 world. Get the fuck out of my face. So, again, Knuckles is going through the same level that Sonic did, but he's only going into this one little section of it. But that's even more... Ah, tiny lion! Where the fuck? Oh, I need to dig for it. He's only going through this one tiny section of it. He's not seeing the vast, sweeping landscape that Sonic saw, right? He's just seeing the inside of this one little room inside the pyramid that somehow the Master Emerald pieces ended up in. How did they get here? Like, put it together there. Chaos broke out of the Master Emerald, probably because, like, Eggman did something to wake him up. And Chaos breaking out of the Master Emerald sent the pieces of the Master Emerald flying and scattered about in every different direction to the world below, right? So some ended up in Station Square City, some were on Angel Island itself still, some probably got found by someone and put in the casino, right? How did they get here? How did the Master Emerald pieces end up inside this pyramid? What is the logic behind that one? That's a little silly. Also, I wanted to point out, Chaos. Oh, camera. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Come on, Lakitu. That's such a weird thing that whenever the camera is like a physical object, like the camera that's following you is an actual object that exists in the environment. Like, if we could have a second camera and point it in the opposite direction, you would see the camera following you around. That's why in Mario 64 they had Lakitu, because they wanted to justify having the 3D camera. They wanted to introduce this unfamiliar concept to get to players who they were worried, like, how am I seeing this? Like, how am I following Mario around and seeing all this in 3D? They were worried people would have that thought, so they came up with the justification of Lakitu's following you around the camera. And that actually fixes the problem of why is the camera getting trapped behind geometry like this? Because it's a physical object that is moving around the environment. It is getting stuck behind things. That's why sometimes I'll go through a room too fast and the camera won't be able to catch up, and it'll just get stuck behind it like this. And look, it is physically stuck. It has to glitch through the object in order to catch up with it. At least when you explain that the camera is being held by a character who is physically following you around, that makes sense. And you can, like, that makes sense in your brain. But when there's no justification for it, it is a little bit silly whenever that happens in a 3D game. Because I, knowing about video games and how they work, understand why that's happening. Because, again, the camera is a physical object that's moving around this 3D space just like you, and just like you can't pass through physical objects, but if you fuck it up, if you fuck up the game enough, you can fall through the world. That's actually not difficult to do at all. If you really tried, you could fuck these characters and just get them to fall through the world. Look up glitch videos, it's not difficult. Oh, but this game sucks because there's no other fucking 3D game on Earth you can glitch it up and fall through the world. Jackasses. But my point is, like, it is a little bit immersion breaking to have the camera get stuck like that. At least when you explain that the camera is a physical object in the universe being carried by another character, you can make allowances for that in your brain. But
Found it.
Otherwise, that is a funny little thing that happens. That's like, oops, video game. It's okay, you're trying your best, video game. You would think that would be something that they fixed nowadays.
Good enough.
But no, that still happens. That they still, even to this day, 3D games will have the camera be a physical object in the environment that can get stuck on geometry. And it's really funny. And again, fuck assholes who act like this game is bad because that's a thing.
This is very
when
strange.
Even now, today, that's a fucking thing that ends up happening. So this would be an opportunity where I would talk about something that I asked you to pay attention to earlier. But I actually don't. This isn't actually a good time to talk about that because there's a cutscene associated with this environment. So I wouldn't be able to get up close and look at all the stuff I want to talk about. So I'm gonna hold off on talking about it until we get to Tails' storyline, because there's a great moment in Tails' story where I'm able to, like, really just wander the fuck around and look at all this different shit that I want to look at and show off. But in this, I would really have to, like, skirt around, and I might accidentally trigger the flag that triggers the cutscene. So,
beg of you.
for now, I'm just gonna say fuck
My
it.
father is coming here soon, and I fear
We'll talk about it next time.
You must take everyone away from here. Oh, please. So, are you saying you can't leave this place? I understand. Let me talk to my father again. There must be a better way to do this. Don't worry, my friends. I won't let you down.
I wonder if there's...
Must do something quickly.
I wonder if there's a video that takes all of these flashback sequences and splices them together in chronological order. Because it's very difficult to figure out what the fuck is going on just watching them out of context like this.